Alrighty, so guys, I'm just gonna go ahead and get into this part right now before I record the clip, so I don't have to do all this explaining midway during the clips and stuff like that. So pretty much where I'm going, so if you're planning on maining Anais, learning her, what all that type of stuff, these are you need to know these. Okay, you need to know these two strats with her because this is really important to know as her, especially if you're planning on maining her. Because I see a lot of people using Anais are not using her to her full potential or just calling her completely straight up bad. Which, I mean, she's not the best survivor in the game, but she isn't as bad as a lot of people may make her out to be. So I feel like learning these things could help a lot of you guys out. So let's go ahead and get into it. So first off, we're going to talk about the first strat, which is the check-in strat. This is something when you spawn in as Anais, please just start doing it. You don't have to do it every match, but it maybe on a map like this, don't do it. Just don't. It's too big. But like on smaller maps, where gens can tend to be a lot more closer, like for example the subway, what you want to do is first thing when you spawn in, go to all the closest gens, do 10% of them. Do 10% already off the bat, and I'll get into why that is in a second. So just work on that 10%. So we're just gonna run over here to this gen because this is like the closest one. And just get this 10% on this gen done, right? So it's important to do this because a lot of people don't know this, but as Anais, the more you get your perk slower on a gen, the more people that are on the gen. Because the way the percentages work is a little bit weird. They like spread amongst all of you guys. So you won't be getting that 10% until the gen's like at like 25%. If you catch my drift. Which every second matters in this game, so that just takes too long. And like, let's say for example, the killer, somebody's dragging the killer over to where you're at, you just got on that gen, so there's a good chance that you won't even have your control to lock the gen at all. So by working on 10% of these gens now, in the later run, you'll have your power instantly whenever it's ready to get done and get going. Now another thing that I forgot to mention as well with this is that whenever you control a gen, because not enough people know this, whenever you control a gen, you stop gaining percentage on any other gen that you may work on, is my point too. So if you control a gen and then you know, it never gets kicked, or you don't go or you're doing the next strat that I'm about to talk to you about here in a second, and you do that, what happens is that you're no longer gaining percentage towards the gen that you're at. So if the gen gets kicked, and you're not near that gen, but the gen gets kicked and you're working on a different gen, you now you won't restart regaining percentage unless you get up off the gen and get back on. Which is why doing the 10% is just good, because you already have them set on the gen. So if it gets kicked later, once the cooldown's done, boom, you can pop it. Just boom, right there, just boom. So that's another reason why that it is important to get that 10% on gens. But again, the bigger the map, the less you want to do it, because the bigger the map is, the slower the gens tend to be. So, and they tend to be more spread out to it that. So it's just a waste of time at the start sometimes. So you don't always need to do check-in strat, but it is really good to do that for like gens you come across. Like even if you don't want to work on that gen, just do it. Just work 10% on it then, and then just move on if you don't want to work on that gen that bad. So yeah. This is mainly just do this at the start. Sometimes you can just work on a 10% of a gen if you need to, or all that, but it's just whatever. So yeah. So now we're going to get into the next strat. So I'm going to go ahead and run over here to where Caden's at. Shout out to Caden, by the way, for helping me out. So basically what you want to do is this is called the supervisor strat. So you run over to this gen. 10%'s already worked on, so we're just going to control it real quick. Don't kick it yet. So I call this the supervisor strat, because this strat is, you don't always want to do this, because it is important to keep your power on you at times. But let's say the killer is actually not, you know, stupid. The killer knows what their perk is. So with the supervising strat, this gives you a lot more time on the gen that you're working on to get it done. Because let's say here, as you see, I'm working on the generator. I'm working on it. Go ahead and kick the gen for me, Caden. So working on the generator, and you can see, kick the gen. Okay, and kick the gen. Oh, I didn't work. I'm gonna edit this out, guys. We had the minor inconvenience. Okay, I'm back. So back to supervising strat. Basically, why I call it that is because you're supervising that gen. So let's say other people are working on that gen, but you're not over there. So if you're going against a smart killer, that killer is aware of your perk, and if they see you on a gen, they're not gonna want to kick that gen and just want to hunt you down. Anyways, typically if they're a more smarter killer. So by you not being over there, but you're still over there at the same time, it helps. So Kaden, go ahead and kick the gen for me. Basically, you see that? So they kick the gen, and typically whenever they do that, whenever your perk activates, killers tend to hard patrol the gen. So by them hard patrolling that gen, that is 10 seconds of time that you get at wherever you're at to work on your gen, because that killer has, there's a good chance that killer is not gonna leave that gen, especially if they're in a gen lock and it's really important. So by you getting those 10 seconds and the extra added seconds for them to kick that gen, it gives you more time to work on the gen you're working on and get more progress on it. So this has helped my gen locks a lot, and just helped me secure a gen in general by a lot, because the killer is like, it comes down to, do I want to go down there to that gen, or do I want to sit here and secure it and make sure that I can kick this gen? And especially if the killer is not an android or something, it's kind of over for them. Like if the killer is not a killer that heavily can mess with gen progress, it's really gonna help you. And she add, again, don't forget, she adds the 10%. So now because of that, technically in a real match, I would be able to get this gen done, and the killer would probably have spent their time patrolling and working on that gen. So remember the check-in and patrol. I mean, remember the check-in and supervising strats, because they are really important. They do help a lot. Okay, and a lot of people do not understand the differences of what you're supposed to be doing and when you're supposed to be doing them. You don't always want to do the supervising strat. It's not always, especially if the killer isn't aware of what your perk does. Like if the killer is kick gen happy, don't do it. Don't do it. It's just best to keep it on the gen that you're at anyways. Personally, let's hope that they can give Anais a buff so people actually know which gen is controlled, because they don't, for whatever reason, your team doesn't know and all that shit. So aside from all that, just remember those things. And also, if you got an Anais on your team, hop off the gen real quick so she can get that 10% if she hasn't already. So those are the strats with Anais. Please learn them and do better. Anyways, let's get into the clips. Oh, alright. Anyways, let's get into it. So here's the I don't even know what the fuck to say. Whatever. We're not gonna do the check-in strat. It's not worth it on this map. Just get started working on the gen now. God damn. Okay, and so it's Android. So maybe it would be best that we get to controlling gens pronto. Whatever. So I don't really know what to
That
say.
was your fault.
I don't know what normally to even really for real be saying here in these parts, because like working on a generator is by far one of the most boring parts ever. Especially when you don't know what to say. Someone hopefully will go get that res, right? Somebody's gonna go res them, right? The killer must be camping or something. But so there's no need to do the check-in strat on this map. Map's too big. But we sure will be making great use of the hold up, I got a burp. Alright, excuse me. We'll be making great use of the supervising strat though. We should be able to, especially since it's Android, so this shouldn't be too hard to do. So let's just hope. Hold up. Cause we out here still gotta work on these bitches. Still gotta work. Still gotta work. I'm sure this Android's gonna come over here. I'm gonna just control it for the GX, for the XP experience point. Pretty. Okay. Y'all just going down and going down. I'm gonna run. Okay, did he see me? I don't know if he saw me. He's ought to be coming this way though. Where'd he go? Is he running all the way down there? No, he's coming around. Alright, since nobody, oh, the day's up, so hopefully they go get the rest. Because you know I actually listen to my own videos and I don't steal reses from people, you know, who deserve the reses or who are based around it, you know. Anyways, gens to patrol here. We're gonna, bro, come on now, and you can't go in first person. All right, I don't. Ooh. Every fucking where they're gonna come down here. Probably not. Alrighty. We're gonna work on this team. Yeah. We're gonna get up out of here though. Not gonna control it yet. Bro, why hasn't they go res them? Cause this would be a pretty nasty gen lock if they're capable of getting this out. So I need to get my control on all these. Uh-huh. Alright, let's go check in with the other gens real quick. Okay, they're working on that one. I'm gonna control this one. I'm gonna help them. I'm gonna help them real quick. So this is here. Let me show you this example as to exactly why you don't want to be working, like why you normally would want to tell them to get up, because as you can see, I still have not my ability. There we go. I'm gonna. Ooh, that was scary. Anyways, of course there had to just be 3 for whatever reason. I controlled it for him, so his gen progress should be Gucci. Okay, so we're just gonna go work back on this gen over here. Why are we gonna work on this gen? Because there's no point to work on 10% of that gen because I won't be able to even control it anyway since I already have a gen control. So we're just gonna come back to this one that's already got the 10% and just work on it anyways. Killer's over there, so we gotta keep eyes out on that. So we're just gonna keep working on this gen. Hopefully we can make good use of that. All right, so we can just, so now what we can do is, hopefully they come over here. Hopefully they come over here. They're not. Alright. So, I'm going to take my chances, and we're going to run over here. So, the likelihood of them kicking that gen is really slim down, right? So, we're going to come over here, and we're going to control this gen for him. Normally, controlling the gen for a gen rusher is also pretty good, because this gives them time to run away if they have to. You'll probably, if you're doing the supervising strat, then you'll already be long gone. You will already be long gone by then. So, oh, he's definitely coming. I get my control. Perfect. You can have fun with that. Oh. Ooh! Ooh! Shit! Haha, controlled. Alrighty. So yeah, that's been controlled. Oh, he's just gonna leave it. Oh, okay, well, smart move, I guess. The fuck? Why are you leaving it? Anyways. Their gen will get done anyways. It had 10% progress added to it, and it's a Kuyo working on it, so it'll just get even more progress after they get the little stacky stacks. So it don't even matter. So we're just gonna go ahead and just stay working on this gen. I'll control it for the XP, but other than that, we should be straight. Although I don't know if it's really smart to work on these gens over here anymore. I'm gonna save it I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna tell him not to. I don't know if it'll be gen locked, so I'm gonna just say that for right now. Okay, so this gen has yet to be done. We're gonna try and control it and see what we can do with that. Let me try and help this Aquil. The killer's too busy over there, so I'm gonna control it. Then I'm gonna bounce all the way back over there to my gen. Miss Evelyn is running for her life. He used his detect for whatever reason. We're gonna go ahead and lock that. And we're going to run around here where they can't see me and go back to the back of that gen. A lot of people might genuinely be questioning, like, man, you don't really work on gens enough. I do. We technically, if you're doing it right, see, just like that, boom, just like that, exactly my point. If you're doing it right enough, you are working on gens enough, but because your whole point of your ability is to be there while not being there, you're adding 10% of progress to that generator during the kick. So now because of that, he's over there, he kicked that gen, it's already wrapped for him because of this gen over here that he didn't come kick because he didn't see nobody working on it. So didn't think it would be, oh, nobody's working on it, so it ain't been worked on for real. And then it's done. So now look, everybody's free to escape. Easy strat. Just all because of that. All because of that. Like, Anais is not bad like some of these people may be saying. Like, trust, like, literally, she's not bad. You just need to know what the freak you're doing with her. You need to be playing her right. You need to be more strategic. It's like playing chess with her ass.